Welcome to the Rogers Kakasungura YouTube channel. Why is Samia Suluhu likely to sink if some powers will not rescue her from the sinking ship? I will explain into details in this particular analysis so that you are able to understand what exactly is facing Samia Suluhu and why Tanzanians are determined to get her out of power. First, I want to lay a background on what is happening in Tanzania before we understand the current demonstrations that are happening. We all know, or some don't know, that I have written a document here. That is why I will be reading some of the information. We all understand that Tanzania as a country was born out of a political union between two newly independent sovereign states. The mainland, known as Tanganyika, and the island of Zanzibar. Ilikuwa inaitwa the mainland territory of Tanganyika and the island archipelago of Zanzibar. Let me take you through the process. Tanganyika, known as the mainland, was first a German colony, then a British mandate or trust territory after the World War I. And Zanzibar, which is an islands or islands, as some of you could pronounce it, was a sultanate under the strong influence of the Omani Arabs for centuries, then a British protectorate. Kumaanisha, in Zanzibar, the occupants were mainly Waarabu. How did the Zanzibar Revolution came into effect? A key event that accelerated the union was the Zanzibar Revolution on the 12th January 1964. This was just a month after gaining independence from Britain. The existing government, which was dominated by the Arabs minority, was overthrown, violently overthrown by African nationalists and the Afro-Shirazi Party, ASP, led by Abeid Amani Karume, who became the president of Zanzibar. This revolution now led to the establishment of the People's Republic of Zanzibar and created international and regional instability under now Abeid Amani Karume as the leader. Now, because it was a violent overthrow, they feared. Wakaogopa. Wakasema, some internal or external forces might also affect us. They quickly calculated and they said, fear of further influence or conflict Zanzibar prompted the leaders of the two neighboring nations to act quickly. Hizo nguvu, external forces kwamba mtatimuliwa tena, it made them act quickly. And on the 26th of April 1964, less than 4 months after the Zanzibar Revolution, Julius Nyerere, the president of Tanganyika, and Abeid Amani Karume, the president of Zanzibar, signed the Articles of Union. Wakasema sasa, tunataka tushikane pamoja, tutengeneze muungano, so that tuwe pamoja, tuwe kitu kimoja, ndio tusikuje tena kufurushwa ama kunyang'anywa ardhi zetu. After the union that was signed in 1964, a new name was born. The two countries merged together and formed what we call United Republic of Tanganyika and Zanzibar. United Republic of Tanganyika and Zanzibar. Zanzibar with its own government, collecting its own taxes, its own military, its own electoral body, and Tanganyika the same. Tanganyika ikabaki ama ilikuwa na Julius Nyerere as the president, and Zanzibar ilikuwa na Amani Karume as the president. Then someone could ask me a quick question. How then did they come up with the name Tanzania? The newly united country was officially renamed the United Republic of Tanzania on October 29th, 1964. The name Tanzania is a clipped compound of the names of two founding states, Tanganyika and Zanzibar. Sijui kama umeelewa. Take the name Tanganyika, remove the first three letters, Tan. Chukua Zanzibar, remove the first the first four letters. Tanganyika, chukua the first three letters, and Zanzibar, chukua the first three letters. Yes, ndio ikakuwa sasa Tanzania, the United Republic of Tanzania. But Tanganyika said, Zanzibar wakasema, sisi tutaretain. Nyinyi Tanganyika itweni hiyo jina yenu, lakini sisi Zanzibar tutaretain serikali yetu, jeshi letu, rais wetu, taxes zetu na kila kitu. So Tanganyika ikabadilika ikaitwa Tanzania, lakini Tanzania inamaanisha the United Republic of Tanzania, Zanzibar and Tanganyika. Tanganyika the mainland and Zanzibar the island or island, as many of you could pronounce it. Now, then someone can ask a quick question. Yes, hivi ndio ilitengenezwa. Now, who is this Samia Suluhu? And why is she facing what she's facing today? In my further analysis, let's first understand who Samia Suluhu is. Samia Suluhu currently is the Tanzanian president and the 6th president of Tanzania, serving her role since 2021 after Magufuli died, and she was sworn in as the first woman to serve as the president of the country. Samia Suluhu was born in January 1960 in Makunduchi in the Sultanate of Zanzibar. Umeelewa sasa? Samia Suluhu is the president in the mainland Tanganyika, but kuzaliwa kwake amezaliwa Zanzibar. So she comes from Zanzibar. In short, Samia Suluhu sio mzaliwa wa Tanganyika. Ni mzaliwa wa Zanzibar. That is the first step to understanding what is happening in Tanzania currently and why it was not happening before. Our father was a teacher and our mother was just a housewife. Sitaki kwenda mambo ya education because it will take us time. Let me quickly move to the political career. How did then Samia Suluhu, who was born in Zanzibar, how did she quickly rise up to power, up to becoming the president of the mainland Tanganyika, that is Tanzania? How did this happen? Let's first understand. Samia Suluhu Hassan, she is a member of Chama cha Mapinduzi, that is CCM. She made her political about in the year 2000 when she was elected as a member of the Zanzibar House of Representatives and was appointed a minister. She was again re-elected in 2005 and received another ministerial portfolio. She served as Minister of Gender and Children and Minister of Youth Employment and Tourism in Zanzibar under the then President Amani Karume. During this time, she was the only high-ranking woman minister in the cabinet, pale island in Zanzibar. In 2010, she was elected to the National Assembly. Sasa National Assembly inamaanisha to the United Republic of Tanzania on the mainland Tanzania, representing the Makunduchi constituency. So that is how she got away from the Zanzibar, mahali alizaliwa. That is how she got away up to the United Republic of Tanzania, that is Tanganyika, the mainland. At this time, the then President Jakaya Kikwete, who is now her chief political advisor. There's something I want you to connect. At the end of this video, nataka uelewe ni kwa nini Samia anapiwa vita na ni kwa nini wanataka kumung'oa mamlakani. And why did she become a dictator? I will explain. It's a long video, but bear with me. The President Jakaya Kikwete appointed her the Minister of State in the Vice President's office for Union Affairs between 2010 to 2015. In 2014, she was elected as the Vice Chairperson of Constituent Assembly, and she was tasked with drafting the country's new constitution. In 2015, she was selected as the running mate for CCM presidential candidate John Magufuli. Watanzania, you can understand this. Nilitafuta hiyo video sikuipata, but I hope I will get it one time I share with you. When Magufuli was selecting Samia Suluhu as the running mate, kuna mahali anaambia Watanzania, anasema kwamba sitaki kujuta baadaye kwamba I made a mistake kwa kumteua mama wa kwanza kuwa naibu wa rais katika historia ya Tanganyika. Magufuli aliongea, but then maybe he knew kwamba Samia doesn't come from Tanganyika, and that is why Magufuli was preparing the people of Tanzania kwamba I hope I will not regret later by appointing a Zanzibarian to the high-ranking position of the vice president. But you know, Magufuli alirisk. Magufuli alirisk and appointed Samia Suluhu as the running mate. Wakaenda uongozi. It reached the year 2021. Magufuli died. After Magufuli died, a number of people in Tanganyika did not want Samia Suluhu to be sworn in as the president because she comes from Zanzibar. Even the military got divided. Ikasema, we can't allow a person from Zanzibar to come and rule us in Tanganyika, yet we have a prime minister who comes from Tanganyika. So serikali ya Tanzania ikagawanyika. There are those who wanted Samia Suluhu to be sworn in, and there are those who never wanted Samia Suluhu to be sworn in. But what happened at this time? The former president, Jakaya Kikwete, came. Na wakati alikuja, is the one who convinced other government officials to let Samia as the vice president. In fact, he tricked them. Akawambia, let us let the vice president announce the death of the president. That is why Samia Suluhu came announcing the death of Magufuli, shaking. After the announcement, she was quickly sworn in as the president under the organization of Jakaya Kikwete as the chief political advisor. That is why Samia Suluhu kept Kikwete close for some advice. Now, how did then Samia Suluhu turn to be a dictator? This was the mathematics. Unajua Samia aliingia kipindi cha Magufuli. Aliingia katikati. She joined the government after the death of Magufuli. Magufuli was supposed to finish his term this year. She retires and then they go to a fresh or a new campaign. So Samia Suluhu understood very well. And she knew, coming from Zanzibar, and the people in the government never wanted me, what do I do? The opposition leader, Tundu Lissu, comes from Zanzibar. He was going to beat Samia Suluhu flat because he comes from Tanganyika. And the Tanganyikans, that's the Tanzanians, walikuwa wameapa to send Samia Suluhu back to Zanzibar. Kwa sababu walisema, Zanzibar cannot have their government. And in Tanganyika, we have a president from Zanzibar. So the United Republic of Tanzania cannot have two presidents from the same region. That is Zanzibar. So they wanted to kick Samia Suluhu out so that Tundu Lissu can win an election as a man from Tanganyika. So wakati Samia Suluhu alijua kwamba this is the plan, she used power to jail Tundu Lissu and other opposition leaders to suppress them so that she can forcibly win an election in Tanganyika, though she comes from Zanzibar. That is why in Tanzania, you've seen jeshi linalinda wa Tanzania kwa sababu they know hawa ni Watanganyika wenzetu. We can't kill them. So the only thing we can do is guard them pole pole tuwapeleke paka wakifika kilele. We take over power and hand the power to the rightful person from Tanganyika. So, safari ya Tanzania is not as easy as we think. So many factors, so many things are involved. Now, we don't know if Kikwete is going to involve other African presidents to rescue Samia Suluhu from this mathematics. But we all wait to see what will happen. God bless you.